Alright, so I know I don't really do a lot of Dokkan anymore, but I had to make an exception for this guy just because this is one of the units that I really was looking forward to an EZA, and it was just a matter of time of when they would do it. I did kind of figure when we got the teaser for Raditz, I'm like, oh, that's probably Turles, because they're probably going to do some Saiyan themed EZA. So finally, we got the Turles EZA, and I think he's very good. I think he's very good. I am curious as to what his it's the boost conditions. It's basically when he eats the fruit of the tree of might, and then he becomes well, they call him Boost Turles, but I'm curious as to what that is. We don't know that as of right now. We should get another data download probably tonight, actually, because I think he comes out. Yeah, he comes out on the 7th, so he should be we should be getting that data download tonight. So maybe I'll make another video and we'll kind of talk about that. But just to see what he does for his leader skill, his super attack, and his passive right now. I mean, he's very good. He's obviously. We're going to get to this, but he's very good in his boosted form here. So starting out with his leader skill, his EZA leader skill, 170 across the board to movie bosses, obviously 3 key. There hasn't really been many changes key-wise for EZA characters. And I don't think there's been any Dokkan Fest category leaders that have gone up to like 4 keys. So, 170 across the board. Movie bosses is just, I mean, they're very good. Here, we'll take a look at how that helps here real quick. Hopefully this loads real fast. Yeah. So obviously you got Int Brawly. Int Brawly is one of my favorite units. Janemba is one of my favorite units too. I'm nervous for this Super Brawly now when he gets his EZA because they just don't go hard on characters that have an AoE super attack. Look at Raditz. Look at Grade 8 Vegeta from the 7th year anniversary, the Part 2 LR. So I'm nervous as to what he's going to look like in the future. This Turles, it's going to be a top 5 rotation in the game. I might make a video on that, maybe eventually. But LR Turles and then now EZA Turles are just going to be unstoppable. Obviously, Brawly, one of the best units in the game. Probably still top 10. I think he's still up there. Beerus should get his EZA soon. That's going to be really interesting. Well, I mean, it doesn't really help Frieza because Frieza's already a really good tank. Janemba, I mean, I guess. I mean, he's but it'll help him give him a little more defense, a little more attack and whatnot. Transforming EZA Frieza just got a buff 170 across the board. Again, these tanking units don't really. They've already been good before the across the board 170. Talked about Brawly, Janemba. This one should be decent again. Bojack I think will be good. Yeah, I mean Cooler. I'm interested to see. I think he's on a 200% lead already. But for some of these units that aren't on 200% leads right now. Really help 170 across the board because, I mean, you can't compete much with 200 unless, again, there's 180 for Goku and Vegeta family, but, like, Pure Saiyans is going to be probably one of the last categories to get a 200% lead. Movie bosses, I think, I mean, they could easily get a 200% lead just because, I mean, the roster's not super stacked, but, it'll be helpful. Maybe eventually when the Beerus gets an EZA in like 2 years, maybe he'll be very good. But again, movie bosses it's one of my favorite categories. I really love that. I love movie hero a little more, especially post 7th anniversary. But movie bosses is still a really fun category. Now before EZA, just immense damage, medium chance of stun. Now he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and then obviously medium chance of stun with immense damage. So this is good, really good. 30% damage, 30% attack and defense raised. So again, if it's a double super on that, very good to have some additional, or more so additional than probably crit for this guy. I did not realize this, but he did not have anything at the start of the turn. Oops, everything's highlighted except for this 3 key 40%. Oh my god. So now he gets 160% attack and defense at the start of turn. so now he gets 3 key 40, and then he gets an additional attack and defense 160. Now I mean I'm okay with this because I mean it's what probably like 65-ish% of the game is super class enemies. Super battle road it should be good in, but the hardest event in the game, which is the red zone, and again, global will get that in July, but it's all extreme class enemies, so you're never going to get this to kick in the red zone at all. And the red zone is, again, way harder than, Super Battle Road. Battlefield Omega it's just way harder than that. So, it just sucks that this is only against super class that you get, 40% defense. But again, outside the red zone, I mean, it should be pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, Movie Bosses has a stage. Pierce Sands obviously has a stage. I don't think Terrifying Conqueror. I'd have to double check, but I don't think they do. Final Trump Card has one. I think that's mostly super class. Space Traveling Warriors and Planetary Destruction don't. I don't think Space Traveling Warriors does. So, I mean, again, Pierce Sands, one of the hardest Super Battle Roads in the game. Movie Bosses, one of the hardest too. So, I mean, it's very good there. And I believe Movie Bosses, it's all super class. I believe is that Super Battle Road stage. Or, sorry, Extreme Super Battle Road stage. So, yeah, I mean, that'll be that 40% you'll get to kick in there. But, it is what it is. Super class enemies attack minus 20%. Again, he had, was it 10% before? 15% before. So, I mean, it's just, again, this only is really effective in Super Battle Road. Even most Dokkan events nowadays, you can't always lower their attack and defense in the final stage of Dokkan events. So, I mean, that doesn't really always help in Dokkan events anymore either. And then again, transforms into the basically Turles boost, which again, we don't know at the time. But looking at it, so it was 25% chance for 3 turns when HP is 80% or below. So I think you can technically get this to proc turn 1 if you're, let's say you're going to the second phase of the Super Battle Road fight. I'm pretty sure you can get this to proc turn 1. But you have to go into the fight starting at below 80%. What they normally do now, and this started with 21, and then Evolution Blue Vegeta did get the buff, is they up the chance. So 21 and Vegeta, I believe, are both 30% before EZA, and they got bumped up to 40%. 30% to 40%. Turles is at 25. So I mean, I guess I would hope they buff it up to 40%, just like, again, 21 and Vegeta. But that's, I mean, an extra 15%. That's, that's 5% more than, again, Vegeta or 21 got. So, I mean, I'm hope they would be fine to bump it up to 40%. But again, we'll see with the data download tonight. And again, I might make another video just talking about this, depending on how good that is. But we move on to the boost part. Again, what changes, his super attack changes and his passive changes, and I don't think any of his links change. Wait, does he have Thirst for Conquest? Did I miss that? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it doesn't look like any of his links change here with the boost. So, this is why I'm really hoping they buff it to 40%. He stacks attack and defense in the boosted form. Now, it's 20%, which, sucks because, again, you go, this is 30%, so you just go down 10%, which, I wish they would have left it at 30%. Maybe the wiki is wrong, but usually they're on point with that. And then I think he had a high chance to stun before, so it's just, they literally just added on the stacking mechanic of raising attack and defense onto his super. So I'm just really curious as to see. Obviously, it was a 3. Oh, I gotta go before. It was a 3-turn transformation, and then you go back to this Turles pre-EZA. So post-EZA, I don't I know they're not going to do like an active skill where it's like, okay, well, you know, I can go into Turles, the boosted form right away, and then we can go back and do the support form whenever. I know they're not going to do that, but I would like to see where they do, you know, maybe 3 turns, then you go back, and then you have another chance to do it for another 3 turns. And, you know, you can keep bouncing back and forth. Now, again, I mean, that would really only affect long events. But, I mean, the red zone, it's not some 2-turn event. Like, you can go 10 turns in the red zone, maybe even longer depending on your team, if you're rainbowed and whatnot. So I would just like to see this, you know, where you can get this activated more than once, but then you still technically would have access to the support here for Turles here. So, again, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, if they just do this and then you're stuck here, you transform, or sorry, well, it's a transformation, but you boost up into the boost here, and then you're stuck here, then you lose the stat support, but you keep the all three, or all types key support. So, you know, that's why, again, I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm hoping they do it right, because, I mean, sometimes stats would be just as good to have alongside the 3 key. So we'll see what that does. But just like his previous state, oh no, okay, so they buffed it up 5%. So he transforms and recovers 20% HP. So technically, you know, you're below 80 and then you just go back to full health. If you're, you know, just around 80%. So, you know, that's good to have that. Always good to have an HP boost, especially again in the red zone, but I mean, if you're bouncing back and forth, yes, that'll be good, but, you know, you're going to eventually lose the ability to stack, and then if you get caught in a turn where you're on the base form of the Turles card, you're not going to be sitting pretty, even though, again, you can, you know, raise it for 1 turn, but I would just rather him stack. He also gets 200% attack and defense. Before was... Oops. 130, a 70% boost. Oh my god. Okay. So we're going up by 70% here. Post Easy A, again, all 3 key, or all types 3 key. An additional attack plus 100% when there is a super class enemy. Again, he's built for Super Battle Road. He's not built for the red zone, which, again, I mean, the red zone is much harder. So I wish they would have kind of built him a little more for the red zone, but unless maybe Golden Week, which I guess possibly could be a joint celebration between Global and JP, maybe Golden Week we have a hero version of the red zone. Or maybe we were supposed to get the original, or that originally was the plan before the movie got delayed. I don't know. But, you know, if they eventually have superclass enemies for a red zone event, you know, Turles is just gonna it's gonna stomp in there. But until then, I mean, you're never gonna get this in the red zone. But you're gonna get it in Super Battle Road, in Extreme Super Battle Road. You're gonna get it there. Superclass enemies defense minus 80% means nothing. Attack effective against all types when HP is 80% or more. So again, if you're coming in 70%, 75%, and you heal above the 80% threshold, attack effective against all types. This ability, I love this ability. But I mean, you're probably only going to get the heal once. So again, if you can flip back and forth, which again would only be in a long event, you're not going to have that, you know, 20% HP recovery every time you boost up the Turles. So then it's going to be harder and harder to get this. But you know, I think it's very good. I'm curious as to how this is going to work. It sucks he loses the stats boost here. But at the same time, I wish this was, you know, stacking too, because then you're only... If they leave it like this, how it is before it's Easy A, and again, maybe they just buff this to 40%, and then just go 3 turns again. You only have 3 turns to stack. That's not a lot. That's really not, especially if you're not getting additionals. What is it, 20%? So if you're not getting additionals, you can only get an extra 60% attack and defense in total. Obviously, I believe it you know, it calculates, and I don't know what the actual numbers would be, but minimum. No, I'm sorry. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking 3 turns, as you can see this guy for 3 turns. No, it would be 3 turns in total, so you would only see this guy twice, which means you could only do it 40%. My bad. I was, because sometimes the passive is, you know, you get 3 turns, and then that 4th turn that you see the character, they transform back or whatever. This is 3 total turns. So again, it's 40% in total, 2 stacks. That's if you don't get additionals. If you get additionals and you get lucky, the max you can do is 2 super attacks a turn. That would be 80% max, 40% minimum. Well, I mean, again, it shouldn't be hard to get key, especially, I mean, well, he has prepare for battle, so that should be fine. Only one. Okay, well, if you don't have a prepare for battle unit next to this guy, I guess there's potential to struggle for key because again he doesn't get any in his passive here. Well, I mean he gets this, but if the orbs are very bad, you might only get up to 11 key. But anyway, that's really worst case scenario. That's like really bad. So again, basically, you're only gonna get 2 stacks with this guy. It's just. I'm not gonna like that. Then it's just like, well, then why doesn't he just raise his attack and defense here? I mean, they could have easily flip-flopped it, and they could have had this be greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, and then you have this just raise attack and defense. If they want to keep that 20% here, is it the boost has 20%? Yeah, if they want to keep that 20% here, and it's just, you know, stacking 20%, totally okay with that. And then again, you have the greatly stack attack and defense for, you know, essentially it'd be 1 turn, but you only get it off twice. I'd be totally okay with that too. And then you can go back into here and keep stacking again. So, I mean, I would have just rather it flip-flopped, but we'll see how the boost is, how the transformation skill is. If you're stuck here, I mean, the worst case, or the worst possible thing is that you just lose the stats boost. But you keep the 3 key, which can help. But again, I mean, if you're not running prepare for battle units, and then again, you know, 9 key, and you know, you just put him in a 3rd slot, and he doesn't have any key spheres to get, then you risk not being able to stack for a turn. So it's just, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, again, that's just nitpicking. That's just nothing, you know, super bad. He's a very good EZA. I can't wait for him to come out on Global. Can't wait to see videos and showcases of him in the next, you know, 48 hours here. So for now, like the video, share it around, don't subscribe. Again, we'll come back and we'll talk about his transformation conditions probably tomorrow when we know what it is from the data download tonight. So I already did my sign out, so we're out of here. Peace.